Hi everybody, I'm Kimberly and welcome to practice. If you enjoyed today's class, please like and subscribe. You can leave me a comment or any questions or feedback in the comments section. I love to hear from you. Okay, so let's begin. Today's class, you'll just need one block. You can have it at the top of the mat. And it'll be a 75-minute vinyasa. It's a good one if you're feeling a little more uninspired or have been fatigued or perhaps overwhelmed. We're going to be finding a little more time to just let the brain drop. So rather than filling it with something new, hopefully using this time to just look at what's there. And a good way to do that is through inversion. So I'll give you many options for those, as well as timed hold. So a little less frenzy and more focus. That being said, we're going to start with the option of an inversion. If you want to find anything else, go ahead. And we'll begin in 10 seconds. And starting now. So those getting upside down, this is literally letting the brain drop. So I like the analogy of just pouring the contents of the mind into the mat. And using the intensity of just the focus to hold the shape. And then start to layer on the breath, regardless of what shape you're in. And see if you can just slow it down, much like you would if we were just seated. Or in Shavasana. If you're in a supine twist, switch sides and one more minute. And if you need to come out early, just come into Child's. So regardless what shape you're in, and we just have 20 more seconds, just enhance it through the breath. So it's not about what you can do or taking on more, but making this the best effort or the best place for you. Slowly come out if you're upside down. And just take rest in child's pose for a moment, or stay where you are if you're in any other shape. And then we'll all meet in tabletop. Go ahead and find a cow and a cat. And then continue to cycle through. And we're going to come right to puppy pose. So stretching the lats. Take the elbows forward, press your palms together, and then continue to walk the elbows in and forward. So you can bring your forehead or third eye center down to the floor. And then take your palms just behind the head. And then sink the sides of your heart towards your knees. As you pull the elbows gently towards the back of the mat. And then you should feel that nice spreading of the upper back. And then breathe into the side ribs that you're really exposing here, like gills. And then feel how the breath just creates more space. Take one more full breath there. And then slowly come out, tabletop, curl your back toes under. Let's find downward facing dog. And just take a moment in your downward dog. You can paddle out the legs. And again, another pose to just allow the brain to drop. Feel the side ribs turn on as you push the mat away. And then soften the sides of the neck. And then step your feet together. Rather than a sunny, we're going to start with a different type of warming flow. So stretch your right leg up. And then step in between your hands, reverse warrior. Inhale. Right side skaters, exhale. Now stay low. Warrior three, back of the mat, inhale. Right side angle, flip your feet. Inhale, side plank. Right foot top of mat, either step there and step right leg back for second side, or plant the palms and hop and switch your legs. So we're going to keep cycling through left side reverse, inhale. Left side skater's pose, exhale. Warrior three, inhale. Left side angle. Exhale. Side plank, right hand. Inhale. Left heel, right thumb. You can step the right foot forward, left leg back, or exhale, hop and switch. Inhale, reverse. Smooth out the breath. Exhale, skaters. Stay low. Warrior three, take off. Inhale. Right side angle. Exhale. Side plank. Inhale. Right heel, left thumb, step or hop and switch. Left side reverse. Inhale. Left side skaters. Exhale. Digasana, warrior three. Inhale. Left side angle. Side plank, inhale. Left heel, right thumb. Step or hop and switch your legs. Keep it going. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, skaters. Inhale, warrior three. Right side angle. Find the bottom of the breath. Inhale, side plank. Fill up and pause. Exhale, step. Right heel, left thumb. Hop, switch, or step it back. Reverse. Inhale. Skaters, exhale. Warrior three, inhale. Last side angle. Exhale. Side plank, inhale. Left heel, right thumb, hop switch or step. I want you to do 2 more sets at your own pace. So whether you need to slow it down or speed it up, go right ahead. Make it about the breath. And let your mind drop in. And if you finish, or when you finish, I shouldn't say if, just come right to your back. Shavasana. And take your time. So just have your block and then take it on the medium height, right under the sacrum. And do a little more core work, leg work here before the rest of our standing practice. So take your heels right over your hips and take your hands right inside your frontal hip bones. And make sure your sacrum's on the block. If you have a foam block, you might be a little, what feels like lower on the sacrum, just so the block doesn't tip. And then notice if your low back is pulling away from the block. I want you to let your low back drape towards the floor as you hug back to your belly and reach up to your feet. And then let your shoulders drop and just take your right leg really slowly. So if you look down your right leg, you can just start to see the toes maybe approach disappearing. And if your low back is pulling away, just lift the leg higher. But then I want you to pulse just up and down like 3 inches. And then reaffirm low back isn't pulling away. You should clearly feel those muscles right inside your frontal hip bones turn on. Feeling this hugging in of the frontal hip bones, back through the belly, and wrapping of the front ribs. And then maybe close your eyes and just continue to pulse that right leg. And if you want, without changing the position of the pelvis or letting the low back pull away, you can lower that right leg. So the toes might disappear from that right hip. Or just stay higher up if you need to. Again, it's not about how much you do, or the quality of the movement. Keep that left leg engaged, reach through the ball of the foot. Soften the neck. Drop the pelvis heavy. Hug back through the belly. Last 5 seconds. And then right knee to chest. And just realign the legs. Hands inside, frontal hip bones. Second side. Again, not letting the low back pull away. We want to let the low back drape. And then take that leg, it might be a little higher above the hip height level, or where the toes just start to disappear if you're looking just over that left hip. And then you can close your eyes and continue to move the left leg only, just subtly, range of motion about 2 inches. Feel that containment of the belly to support this movement as we eccentrically contract and lengthen through the front of the hip. This is a good one if you have any pelvic asymmetries. And you might just stay at that level or lower the left leg a little. It doesn't come all the way to the floor, but maybe just going a little lower. Let the low back drape, hug back to the belly. Soften the neck. Last 10 seconds. Left knee to chest, and then both legs up. Great. Now turn your feet out and keep your heels together. And then lower your legs about 45 degrees, maybe a little higher if your low back is pulling away. But we're going to keep our feet turned out. Bend your knees, draw your heels towards your groin, and then legs straight out. So without dipping the heels, find that sharp angle as you draw your heels in and out. It's almost like you're pushing away. I call this a Pilates kind of move here. Because I think in Pilates there's an actual, if I recall, something you push away as you lay on your back. I'm going for that same thing here, working the outer hips, inner thighs as we zip up and straighten the legs. And you should feel that connection to the belly as you do that. You might go a little lower. Feet stay turned out, heels stay connected. Drop the shoulders, don't let the low back lift. Check in with the neck. Last 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in, stay on the block. You might reposition it there if you need to. And then take your legs straight up. Hands inside frontal hip bones. Take them out to a V. Find your end range of motion. And then lift your legs about 6 inches higher from that end range of motion. Reach through the balls of your feet and then just pulse here up and down like 2 to 3 inches. So above your end range of motion. Use your fingers to keep just that awareness of the frontal hip bones, hugging in, belly drawing back. As you just slightly lift and lower the legs. and then just come back to knees to chest. And then slowly bring your feet down. And then push your feet just to lift your hips and remove the block to the side. Come to Supta Baddha Konasana. And then I want you to find your feet out but heels connected like we did before. Hands inside your frontal hip bones. And then just without completely dragging your feet, so you can lift them a little. But it's like you're sweeping the mat. We're gonna straighten the legs. Toes turned out, heels together, and then heels draw in. So just barely above the height of not letting them drag, where you're skimming. Notice the low back really wants to pull away, so your core has to work even harder as you straighten and bend. Now, if you really feel like you're unable to keep the low back from lifting, just lift the legs a little. Drop the shoulders. You should really feel the hip flexors and inner thighs at this point. Just a nice or different way to turn them on rather than standing on our feet. Last 10 seconds. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in. And just take the breath to the low back. And then rock and roll along your spine there. And we're gonna come right into either dolphin or the option to find Pincha Mayurasana. So set up with the elbows under shoulders. You can clasp your hands or press your palms together. I have flexible shoulders, so I need to just to walk the elbows in and use this to find more of my strength. Okay, curl your toes under. Option 1 is just to drop the head between the arms and lift the hips up. Here's your dolphin. You can step the left foot in and lift your right leg up as you internally rotate the thigh, or high in the ball of the left foot, shoulders over elbows, hop up, Pincha Mayurasana as you push down. And find the same engagement and activation of the core and the legs as we found on our back. If you're getting upside down, I want you to reach through the balls of your feet. Hug back through your belly and push down through your elbows. See if you can drop your head entirely. If you're holding one leg up, great. Continue to breathe into the sides of the ribs like they're your gills. Lengthening the neck and broadening the chest. And use this time to just let the brain drop. Create heat in the body. If you're entirely upside down, set your left leg down. Align wrists with elbows. And then look forward. Right knee to chest as you straighten your arms. And then step your right foot between. Set up for warrior 2. And then take your left arm under your right and find an eagle bind. Lift your elbows shoulder height, bend into the right knee, lift your elbows up where the head can cradle into the arms. Keep the arms, eagle pose, top of the mat, can either find one big swing or let the left foot come down. Cross it over, drop your hips, lift the elbows, lean your upper body back. And then stay there or bow your eagle, so elbows to knees. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale, lift. Unravel the left leg and keep the arms. Warrior 3. Bend the right knee. Turn the left foot out. Warrior 1. Inhale. Interlace the hands behind the back. Pry the heart open. Shoulder blades together. Exhale, humble warrior. Again, another pose where we can just let the head go. Let the brain empty. The jaw soften. Free up the neck. And in doing so, find more of the potential of the breath. Take a deep inhale. And just release your hands. Step the back foot in, frame your right foot. Inhale, up dog your chest, and then hug your right hip back as you stretch your right arm out and then suck the shoulder back, Revolve Trikonasana. Get the shoulder blade back and then reach the fingertips to the sky. And then give a push through the ball of the right foot, working the right hip crease away from the armpit. And then come back to the breath. Nicely done. Get your hands down. And then slowly just bring your left knee down. Take your block, set it facing top of mat on the lowest level. We're going to step on the block with that right foot. From there, come right to standing splits on the block. So your toes might hang if you have either long toes or bigger feet like me. They might hang off the front edge. So option 1 is just stay in standing splits as you hug your right hip in. Option 2, I'm going to take handstand from here. Like we're approaching it like one of our timed holds, but using the block to maybe get in with a little more control, coming to the ball of the right foot, and then lean the shoulders over the wrist crease. And then hug your upper arms in. And then just take little hops and land back on the block. Or if you can, you'll hold and stay. And just see how long you can stay. And if you need to, just come back out. Standing splits. Just 10 more seconds, so take one more full breath in, 5 count breath. 5 count breath out. And then just step back, Vinyasa. From your knees, let's go into the second side. So elbows under shoulders, again, palms flat or together. And then lift the knees up for dolphin. Now you can just stay there with both feet down, option 1. But hollow out the armpits. And then draw your chest toward your shins as you drop your head. Option 2 is lifting that left leg up. Internally rotate it. Hug back through your belly. Option 3, shoulders over elbows. Push down to lift up. You can keep the legs split or straight up and down. But this one's so good and beneficial because there's no weight on the head. Especially if you can let your head go. Neck can be nice and soft. Reach through the balls of your feet, hug into the thighs, back through the belly. Can you breathe more fully, regardless of what your pose looks like, regardless of what shape you're in? Take one more full breath. If you're upside down, just set the right foot down. Wrists in line with elbows and shoulders. And then look forward, left knee to chest as you straighten your arms and step left heel to thumb. Come right to warrior 2. And then right arm under. Eagle wrap your arms. Sink into that left knee and then drop your head into your bicep. If it's comfortable, or you can just keep the gaze neutral. Lift your right inner thigh. And come right to eagle. Right leg over the left. Come more upright up the torso initially, and imagine you're sitting back into a chair. Then lift your elbows. Take an inhale there. Stay or exhale, elbows to knees, rounding the spine. Keep your hips low as you come up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bow. Warrior 3, keep the arms, unravel the right leg. Set up for warrior 1. Round the right foot, stretch the arms up, take a breath in, and then set up for humble warrior. And then bow forward and down over that left thigh. Take the skin of the left hip back, and then hug your upper arms together. Reach your knuckles up, take a full breath. And then frame your left foot and just step the back foot in. Bend the left knee and think up dog of your chest. And then work your chest open and just stretch your left arm out parallel to the floor. And I just want you to suck that shoulder back. So getting the shoulder, really the armpit to hollow out, to glide the shoulder blade back, then stretching the arm up. See if you can find a little more lift of the sits bones like cow. And then stretch the heart forward. And that should lengthen your waist. And then rather than filling this very complex pose with more alignment cues, see if you can just notice what's there. Breathe into it. One more full breath in. And then left hand down. Just step the right leg back. You can bring that knee down just to get the block set up. The long way on the lowest level and step on it. Lift from the underbelly of the foot as you take on your standing split. Hug in of the thighs and then let just the weight of the head and the shoulder girdle free off of the rib cage. And then you might stay or take on your handstand. High on the ball of the foot, lean the weight towards the tips of the fingers. And then hop up, kick your butt. And get the sacrum back. Take a 5 count breath in. Stay on the 5 count out. And then vinyasa, take it through. Nicely done. Set up Supta Virasana. So heels outside of hips. If you need to sit on a block or your heels. And if you're comfortable to get more of an opening, rest your elbows down. Maybe come all the way back. Keep hugging into the knees and then lengthen your sitting bones towards them so you feel long and spacious through the low back. And then start to make your way up, and we are going to come into camel pose. So you can even use blocks for this guy here if you're not a camel lover. Set them up right about at the ankle on the highest level. Tailbone down, center around your waist. So you can just bring your hands to the blocks. And then squeeze your upper arms and shoulder blades together as you lift up through the heart. So the gaze stays more forward or up, rather than just letting the head kind of drag back and create tension. Feeding more the side body and rib cage itself. Then thinking back bending. Lift up. Notice the sticky areas and try to breathe into them. One more full breath. And then Sit back on your heels. So 2 minutes, back to headstand. Or just stay in child's pose. So already 30 seconds in. If this is your second one, notice the difference from the first. You might be able to be lighter on the head. You might play with activating more through the feet. Or a pike leg. Or maybe tapping the toes and then lifting the legs back up. Less than a minute. And slowly start to make your way out. And feel the weight of this pose, this grounding pose deep within your bones. And make your way back to tabletop. One last flow, downward facing dog. Take an inhale and reach your right leg up. Exhale, take it under and over for fallen triangle. You're gonna find an avenue to get more into the side body here. Stretch the left arm overhead. You can lift the leg. I like an eagle leg just to open the chest up more. Roll it to the ceiling. We're coming to wild thing. So left hand down. Take it under or over the hurdle of the left leg and lift up. You might take your right hand to your hip or overhead. Come to side plank on that left hand. Inhale. Keep the right leg lifted, plank pose. Hinge forward, look for chaturanga. Point the right toes back. Draw your shoulders and elbows back to spread the chest. Single-legged upward facing, so sink your hips. Shimmy your shoulder heads back to burst your heart up as you lift your belly, maybe gaze up. Point your toes back. And then exhale, knee to nose. To leg up and back. Now we're going to find a straight-legged tap to the right wrist. And then leg up and back. And keep moving through that. Try not to draw the line out. But take a straight leg, and you might have to stop halfway. And be okay with that. So you're descending the thigh to lift the leg up and make that clearance for the straight-legged toe taps. Is your neck soft? 3, 2, 1. Just hold the leg up, down dog splits. I want you to use this almost like we're in standing splits. So you can breathe suppleness into the left hamstring, but let the head drop. So square off your hips, look underneath you at the right toes and make sure they're turned down. And lift more from the inner right thigh than the outer hip. And imagine I have my thumb around your left hip crease and I'm drawing it up and away from you. And then hug your upper arms in, cup your armpits, and separate your rib cage from your pelvis. So from all that, you should then feel more symmetrical in the hips. And then come back to the breath. Five count breath in. 5 count breath out. Coming to runner's lunge. And then come up to crescent lunge, just find your balance. Figure 4, left knee to chest, take the ankle to the knee. I'm getting a stretch through the outer hip. You can stay higher up. I like to really sink in low. I just feel it more in the outer hip. You can bring your hands down, but try to keep your heart a little higher than the hips. Flex your left ankle, protecting the left knee. More weight back into the right heel. And take a full breath in. Stay on the breath out. If you're low, come more upright. We're just gonna meet the feet together. Come into chair pose. Draw up your seat, thumbs to heart, and then twist to your right. Left elbow to right thigh. Suck your hips back, draw your chest forward, and then rotate open. Even if your knees are together, draw your knees out without separating them. So draw inner to outer knee, and then hips back. And then soften the neck, take another full breath into the right side lung. Exhale to look down. And then thumbs to heart, we're coming right back into standing splits. Try not to use your hands, belly to thigh as you float the left leg back. If you need to, get your hands down. Not staying here too long. And if you want, you can fly the arms like an airplane. 3, 2, and just step back for your low lunge. Bring your left knee down, inhale. Straighten the leg, half split. So much like we would at the beginning of a class. It's almost like a backward flow here. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Feel free to stop and pause along the way. Or continue to cycle. So instead of filling our brains with new things, sometimes it's just the order of the things that are familiar that can make all the difference. Like dessert before dinner. Vinyasa when you're ready. And just notice the difference between the two sides. Take a full breath. Come back to that strength inherent within the breath. And then stretch your left leg up. Fall in triangle, just take it under and over. Your version, I like an eagle wrap. You can just lift the leg or keep the foot down. And then look towards the floor. On your exhale, wild thing. Firm through the right arm. Take the left leg over and then lift up. Maybe left hand to hip. Or bicep to ear, let the head dangle. And then slowly come back to runners or to side plank. Take an inhale, hug the belly back, tap on the heels. Keep the left leg lifted, single-legged plank. Exhale. Now find your center line. Look forward and broaden your chest before you even bend your elbows. Point the left toes back. And then keep all that, just a little bit at a time. Bend your elbows. Keep floating that left leg up, dog. Inhale, shoulders gather, heart lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Round, lift your hips, push away. Leg up and back. You can hop that right foot in. We're gonna take those toe taps. So high in the ball of the right foot, plug your left thigh bone up, and then try to tap your left forearm with your toes, and then sweep it up and back. You might pause or stop halfway there. It's still great work. Trying to keep the neck long, upper back broad. Working more from the inner thigh and pelvic floor. Just keep it going. If it gets to be too much, just pause and down dog splits. Last 3, 2, and 1. Down dog splits. And I really want you to refine this pose. It should feel much different than when we typically just lift our leg up. Imagine my thumb at your right hip crease, pulling it up and back. Push the mat away. Wrap your triceps down as you lift your forearms up. And then reach from the left inner heel. And inseam of the leg. Deep breath in. Runner's lunge. Come up to crescent lunge. And then figure four, right ankle to left knee. And get as low as you need, or stay higher up. Sink the hips down and back. Check in with your shoulder heads. Get them on the back body. And just try to get as heavy as you can through that right thigh without jutting your left hip out. Nicely done. Slowly come up. Just step your feet together. Arms up, sit back and down for chair, and then twist to your left. And then drop your hips. Suck your left elbow back. And then draw inner to outer knee, and you should feel more spacious in the low back as you revolve from the upper back. Take an inhale. Thumbs to heart. We're just going to lift the right leg, heel to butt, to airplane. So thigh connects to abdomen as you split the legs apart. Use your fingertips or fly the arms. The pliability, the suppleness of the left hamstring. Take one more full breath. And then just step back. Bring your right knee down. Keep the fingertips down. Take an inhale. And then straighten, exhale. You can cycle through or hold at one place. Try to keep your belly on your thigh the whole time. Take your vinyasa, or just step back to dog. And then from your downward facing, ripple forward to plank, ripple back to dog. Ripple forward to plank, back to dog. Forward to plank, scoot forward, chaturanga. And then all the way down. Seat the right arm out in a cactus shape. You can step the left leg back, just getting into the left or the right pec minor. to your belly, second side. Left elbow bent 90 degrees. And back to your belly. So set up for Sphinx, and then walk or lift your hips, and then walk the elbows out, and just lift your rib cage away from your pelvis. All right. So we're going to come into half frog. I want you to bend your left knee. You can turn your right forearm out. Left hand grabs your big toe. Thumb inside of it, fingers on top of toes, so the elbow draws back and straight up. And then try to rotate towards your right as you lift through the right side body and draw heel to sits bone. Keep pulling the mat back with your right elbow. Reach your left knee away from you. Full breath in. And then exhale, just slowly release. Second side, elbow under shoulder, reach back. And then thumb inside big toe, elbow straight back. And then roll more onto that right frontal hip. Hug your knees in, and then rotate your torso towards your left as you lift up through the left side body. You can gaze to the left as well. Hug your right elbow in. Right knee away from you. 3, 2. Exhale, slowly release. And then set up with the forehead down. Reach your arms back. Lift your head, your chest, your arms, and then your legs. And then roll the inner thighs up. Turn your thumbs up. And maybe stretch your arms out and forward and gaze up. 3, 2, full breath in. Exhale, release. Just bring your right or left cheek down. Rock your hips side to side. And then back to the forehead. Lift the shoulder heads up. Press your pubic bone down. Lift your head. Lift your arms. Float your legs. Bend your knees. Grab the ankles. Hug your thighs together, knees together. Push your shins back and then lift the thighs second. Or just stay in locust. Floor bow. You might rock back to the belly. Full breath here. And exhale, release. Bring your opposite cheek down. And then just come back to center, push back to child's pose. And then make your way to your back. And come right to happy baby. So grab onto your feet. If you want to go a little deeper, you can take your upper arms around the shins and interlace your fingers right under the calves. You can stay here, take it to plow. If plow is not a part of your practice, a seated forward fold might be nice. Just rock up and fold over the thighs as you lengthen your chest out. Those in plow, hands to the low back or interlace your fingers. Lift up through the hips. Draw chin away from chest as you push down through the shoulders. And then shoulders down. And come back to plow. Extend the arms, palms flat, roll down. One vertebrae at a time. Just reaching the legs out entirely. And if you'd like, finding fish pose here. Draw your elbows in. Hands can come under the sits bones. And then open the throat, let the blood rush back. Light on the crown of the head. When you're ready, just release. You can take your feet off of the mat. Just windshield wiper the knees side to side. Or give yourself any last pose. Before heading into Shavasana. A very different way to approach our practice today. Less flow, less challenge on the intervals and getting the heart rate up. We're just slowing things down. So rather than taking on more and trying to cover up or mask what might be there, we're left with what is there already. In many ways. And I have found the times in my life when I take that same analogy and I apply it, That's when I'm most content. That's where I grow. That's when I have exactly what I need. Stay here or slowly rock up to a seat. And just close your eyes. And take a big breath in, fill up. Sigh it out. And notice the potential within the space you created. And bring your hands to your heart in gratitude and the ways our practice can inspire us and feed us and sustain us. Namaste.